Good morning. Today, working on adjusting a couple settings on my Patreon. My daughter is awake, so you're probably hearing other things in the background, and I'm sorry about that. The trees down here have started pollinating, so my allergies are crazy, so I apologize for that as well, ahead of time. It's pretty gross. So yeah. Welcome and good morning. I'm a little late because of life. So what I have here, I have my Patreon page, and I don't have the amount of followers to really benefit from running a Patreon page, but I figured I'd set one up anyway, just so that I had one. The downside to this is I have no reason to regularly update it because I have posts already up and other things, and it just does me no good. Also, Patreon doesn't have certain automated features because of how busy I am. Give me a minute. You know this isn't nice. I have to talk. Give me a minute, guys. I'll be back. Yes, I know. Hold on.
Hi.
Okay, parenting needs. Sorry about that. As being the only adult in this household of mine, yeah, not a thing. I could really use an extra set of hands when I try to do these things, but honestly, most of my family wouldn't understand. as old as I am, you figured I'd be the one that would have trouble with, my son wanting to stream. But I went to college around about the time that the internet really started to blossom. So I saw its potential and the possibility of it. And my family, however, in general, except for certain people, and those certain people, I really don't get the support I need to be able to do this particular thing, streaming. So it is what it is. If I don't see an immediate return on an investment, this is the barrier I keep running into. And a lot of people who do streaming, who have significant others or family members that don't understand, or even just artists in general. I mean, you don't just instantaneously start making money. There are some out there who might be able to. But generally speaking, anything creative, you need a following. You need a client base. You need people who are going to buy from you. People who are going to, hire your consulting services. People who are going to hire you to do your designs, things like that. And if you have a full-time job on top of doing artwork, unless you have a decent enough clientele base, it's really not easy to make art money, really. So one of the things, and this is very important, especially for younger artists, you want to put your best work out there, yes, but you also want to put some of your whips, your works in progress and other things out online, so that you start building interest in what you're doing. It's one thing to have finished works, but there are a lot of people out there who like to see the rough work too, because for them, either they learn from it, or they can see where your thought process is going for it. One of my favorite pieces of artwork is of a humanoid bird based on the Egyptian god Thoth, or Thoth, not sure how to pronounce that. And there's whiteout on it, her white paint or something, and you can see the pencil lines. Like, it's an original piece of artwork from the sketch on up, and you can see the eraser marks and things like that. And the artist, when they sent it to me, actually apologized, because it wasn't a quote-unquote clean, but I loved it. I thought it was, so pretty, and you could see the thought that went behind it. And that, to me, was more important than anything else. As an artist, I don't generally hang my own artwork up, because it is what it is. And generally speaking, most of my artwork ends up going out to clients anyway, generally speaking. So, red nose mug. Actually, it should be like this. So one of the things that either makes or breaks Patreon is whether or not you have a following. Me, I kick myself for this because I didn't want to deal with the online drama. And I have seen terrible, terrible drama. Artists who are fairly well off now, that they're running their own fine art shops and things like that, they started out just posting their work. People who are successful now that I know of, that I've followed them, that I know of them, that I'm friends with them, they're successful because they post their work. They also have to face down drama. They have to face down trolls, negativity, and nastiness. I watched as one artist, I won't call them a friend, I won't call them an associate, I met them online. I knew them from forums and, from live journals and things like that way back in the day. And I watched their audience grow, and as their audience grew, it was like they grew an army. And when they disagreed with another artist on something that was minor, I watched their rabid fans start harassing that artist. And then when that artist's fans rose up in defense, and they started attacking the other fans and my artist friend. And I'm like, why? Why? Why do this? Why? So, it threw me off. I mean, I'm looking at being, I just turned 41, the end of March. And I'm not as well known as some of my other artist friends. And that's because I basically stuck my head in the sand and ran away from the drama. I didn't want to deal with it. I had too much going on in my life. And now I'm stuck in a situation where I lost that opportunity. People like Jazza from Jarwitz Jazza started around about the same time online putting stuff out there that I did. Some of my stuff is even out there that's older than some of his stuff. And yet I'm pretty much an unknown, and that's because I was afraid. And it wasn't I was afraid of success, I was afraid of the drama. So in order to make something like Patreon work, in order to make something like Fiverr work, in order to make something like a Redbubble shop work, which we'll go over that too. I forgot to put that in my description. In order to make these things work for you, you have to brave the negativity. You have to brave the trolls. You have to brave the rabid, crazy fan people. You have to brave the fact that sometimes you'll have an unpopular opinion, and your unpopular opinion may get you, attacked online, and it hurts. It hurts. And you have two options when your unpopular opinion gets attacked online. You can get nasty about it, or you can sit back and think about it. And I don't mean like overthink and get depressed and upset and bent out of shape about it, because you could do that too, but it's not beneficial. But you can sit and analyze these comments and try to figure out where you went wrong. Maybe it was your wording, maybe it was the choice of words, because language is really powerful. It's being able to say things without causing offense is an art form in and of itself, So you have all of these things that you have to take into consideration. And in order to build a following, you have to put your art out there. And in order to put your art out there, you got to have a little bit of a thicker skin. And I don't mean being snotty and nasty or defensive or, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You need to be able to take the blows and roll with them. You need to be able to brush it off and just go with it. And it took me 20 years to not be afraid of the drama. And that came from my experiences as a forums admin, as a LiveJournal admin, as an admin for Facebook groups and things like that. Because instead of defending myself, I was defending other people. And I was helping them get through the negativity. And by doing that, I learned how to do it. But in the process, I wasn't posting my art. I wasn't posting my designs. I wasn't posting my motion graphics. I wasn't posting my animation. I mean, even to this day, I still don't know which direction I want to go to creative-wise, because there's so many things I enjoy doing. But to make it more than just a hobby, to be more than just an artist in my spirit, I have to determine what niche I want to follow. And that kind of sucks, because I don't like being hedged in like that. So, but the only way to do that is to get feedback, and that means putting myself out there. Wish me luck. So, as I said before, when it comes to Patreon, you have to have some kind of following clientele. Oh, hey, HB Gamer! Hey! Good to see you! Because, yeah. Well, yeah, that was really... Anyway. Thank you for stopping by. So as I'm sitting here looking at... This is the back-end settings. I already have a Patreon page set up, but it's... where's my pointer? There's my mouse. It's right there. So when you log in, Patreon has since updated their interface. When they first started, it wasn't this clean. Like, this is a nice and clean. You have all your main menu over here. Here you have your posts, right? And here you can post a text post, which is like basically like a blog post. You can post an image with some caption. You can link to a video. They're offering live stream. They didn't do this before. This is new since the last time I logged in here. I'm going to have to check that out. You can post audio, like if you have a podcast, you can post links. You can post polls. There's all kinds of things that you can do. And in here, you have a drafts folder. So you can save something. If you're not ready to publish it, you can save it as a draft. You can schedule posts. So that way, if you're like really busy and you have like one day a week, you can post something. You can do like 3 or 4 or however many, or schedule out your month, and they'll automatically post for you. And this is your publish list. And this is my publish list. I haven't touched this since January. It's sad. It's because I don't have anybody to post to. There's nobody on my Patreon. There's no reason for me to post to it anymore because there's nobody actually on there. It's sad. And I don't just post patron only posts. I post public posts on there. So I have work doodles and sketches and things like that, and paints and Instagram and updates. And you see, where's my oldest post? Oh my goodness. Okay, so posted February 21st, 2014. Okay. 2014. I've had this Patreon since 2014. Nothing. And I got some really cool stuff. Hold on. You can go here and edit. Let me show you one of the posts. I think this one, yeah, this is a patrons only post. So, a bit of my artwork. This is an ATC card. This thing is like that big. It's like little. It's about the size of a baseball card. I have one up here? No. I don't know. And it talks about, a little bit about what it is and everything else. And this is before tags were a thing. So here, it lists any patrons that you have. And nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Right? Now, the way Patreon works right now, and this is something that most people don't know. If you have people offering you $1, like $1 USD, and you accept that, because Patreon uses PayPal and they have to pay banks and there's fees and things like that, when the patron offers that dollar, Patreon has to pay the processing fee through PayPal or whatever that they use. So you, as the person running the Patreon campaign, you get a percentage of it. Now, let's see. I actually had somebody... I'm going to go to my author page. I have 2 separate Patreons because I didn't feel right about throwing some of my werewolf writings to people who are only there for my artwork. That's another thing you got to worry about is your market niche. So, I write horror stories, and they're pretty gruesome. And it's how I kind of deal with some of my pain. Come on. That's not my stuff. Those are people that I follow. So, here's an example of an actual patron that stayed for all of a month. And I actually was kind of worried about it because they didn't respond to anything. They didn't give me any feedback. They didn't talk. They just kind of lurked. And I was worried that they were stealing content because that is a thing. So, total process was $2 because my lowest level for this one, I believe, is $2. So, it's a $2 pledge, right? But, where is it? But that's not what you get back. Where'd it go? Anyway. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, earnings. So, here it is right here, processing fee. It's a 16.50% processing fee, which meant out of $2, they took 33 cents. The Patreon fee, and this processing fee, represents the amount that our payment processors, e.g. Stripe and PayPal, charge each time they process a payment. And here's the rough one. Patreon takes a fee because they have to be paid in order to keep their servers up, so that's 43 cents that's taken out. So out of the $2 pledge charge, I only get $1.57, which is 78% of it. Well, almost 79% of it. But still, that's a fairly large chunk that's taken out. And if you process that payment, and this is where you get hit, because you get hit double. When you process that payment in order to get the money from Patreon through whatever, whether it's Stripe or PayPal or whatever, yeah. If you go through PayPal, you get charged the PayPal processing fee again. I don't know about Stripe. I don't have Stripe. So, see if in your bank account will be slightly smaller than the amount you withdraw from your creator balance because payment processors charge fees for the transfer. So this is where Patreon's big explosion happened, right? And my writing Patreon actually has a lot more content in it than my art Patreon, because when November rolls around, I go into art or author mode and try to write a book. I think I've won once, NaNoWriMo once. So now we're back into here, and when you first log in, you get hit to where it's like a dashboard that talks to you about everybody that you're following. So it gives you everyone that you're following, including stuff. Ooh, hey. Nice. Ooh! Nice. Nice, nice. Oh my god, Spyro. I have to do Spyro fan art because I'm a Spyro fan. I really have to. So you go into post. This is your notifications in case, like, you actually are a patron to somebody. The notifications will be here. These are posts where I talked to, or where I liked somebody else's stuff. Messages from people. Here's where you can invite creators. If you're actually thinking about running a Patreon, this is a referral link. I get money for this, but only if you make, I think, your first $50 in the first 30 days or something like that. Hold on. Yeah. They'll have 30 days to get as many patrons as possible. After 30 days, you both earn a reward based on how many patrons you have. So if you have 30 plus patrons in 30 days, my bonus would be a $50 bonus, and theirs would be a $50 bonus. And I've never seen that happen. But hey, there's my link. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Yeah, I sent an invite to a friend of mine. He never bothered with it. That was 2 years ago. If after the first 30 days they decide to then do it, you don't get any referral bonus. But hey, there is that. My cat is sitting on my foot. Why are you sitting on my foot? Crazy cat. Anyway. So, one of the first things you need to do is they'll take you through the process of setting up your page, which includes the header art and everything else. Excuse me. So, that's my real life name. Not that I care that you guys see that anymore. What am I creating? Fantastic creatures and more. Which sounds correct. Hope Bryant is creating fantastic creatures and more. Hope Bryant are creating fantastic creatures and more. The reason why they do that is because some people will have a Patreon that is a team Patreon with them and somebody else. So proper grammar. So you add your profile picture. This is where your cover image goes. That's one of my favorite ink drawings. It's the Mad Raven having a tea party. This combines two completely different mythologies into one. An old Aesop's Fable and Alice in Wonderland. So, I love it. You put your Facebook link here, your Twitch handle here, which probably should art design now. What your category is. Come on. Do the thing. Which is so many: dance and theater, crafts, education, science, comedy, photography, games, podcast, animation, drawing and painting, comics, writing, music, video and film. Excuse me. I told you. Sorry about that. This is for adult content. This is how Patreon protects minors. RSS audio feed if you do podcasts. And you can connect the Discord, which I do have a Discord channel. I did that just to see how it would fit. You know. Yeah, go away. So then you go into here, into About. And this is something I need to edit. They give you hints over here about what you can do. So I'm just going to delete that first part. I'm an artist, designer, artisan, art educator, nerd, geek, dork, and a single mom who enjoys creating a wide variety of things. I come from a DIY background, as my family often would cut corners and do for themselves in order to save money. Heck, I know how to hang drywall, change my car's oil, grow crops, and create user interfaces for the web, and I create various arts and crafts. Go me! Anyway, art and the creative process are parts of my life, so these are my goals. So someone at one point said you need to add a bit of your artwork. So let's see. Image, web image link. My angry sheep. I like that idea. Copy image address. There we go. We'll copy that to here. See if we can center it. I don't know if that'll work. Angry sheep. Bah. Humbug. Haha. So then it goes, what are your goals? My larger pet projects finished. Projects. So that links to my Behance, which is my projects page. These are all my various projects. One of the things that's been said about doing a portfolio is you don't want to do a portfolio of your best work alone. You want to do projects. You want to show process. You want to show what you do. And this, I went to Behance way before Adobe bought it, and I have my rebranding. That's a project. Book cover designs that I've done myself. Sketchbooks, which is just a bunch of my best sketches. I love that one. Angry Unicorn. That's so cute. Flyer designs that I've done. ATCs and ACEOs, which are the baseball card artwork. When I start painting magic cards, I'm going to put one up there for that. Freelancing. This is what I did on Fiverr for a while to try to bring in a little bit of extra spending cash. Because trust me, when Fiverr first started, you were doing this level of work for $5. Yeah, I was totally underpricing myself just so I could build a portfolio of work. And this is all the things that I've done. These were all like header banners or ad banners that I did. This one, they were really surprised that I was able to cut their background out from behind their image. And that's just knowing how to use Photoshop. These were the different versions I gave them to pick from. And they ended up going with something else later. This one I did like 6 or 7 different revisions on it. This one was for Facebook, but they're not using this anymore. I don't think. Hold on. Last time I checked, they did. It's really nice when people are still using the designs that you have. I don't think they're using it anymore, though. No. They have a new one that's... Yeah, I don't care. Notifications go away. Wow, yeah, that's... You know, maybe I can reach back out to them and ask them if they want me to redesign it again, because why they took mine down, I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to judge. So I also did a bunch of banner ads for Jew Pro and what else? Jew Pro FX. Yeah, let's not even talk about Jew Prawn, because that's just... Yeah. And then they had the Jewish dating, which I actually had to look up grammar and word usage to throw some of the correct the shirt, right? To the wording in there, and my client was very impressed by that I would go that far. So, and all the images are stock images that I snagged from free stock sites or from cheap stock sites like Dreamstime. This lady I did other work for besides banners. I also did a background design for her website, like a background image for her website. Okay. This is one of my favorite designs.
That's it.
No, at the hospital, Cassie, no reception. He can't call. Okay, so no, he's not responding yet. So why don't here, honey? Why don't you go watch YouTube Kids?
So can I talk to you?
I guess if you want. If you really want to.
Yeah, but on the back of your phone is yuck.
So yeah. The whole point of this was to show you that you can link your Behance to it here as well.
Uncle Mike.
It's not Uncle Mike. I wouldn't get into that with aloe covered hands because it'll stick to it and you'll have to use that.
I just washed my
Okay,
hands.
go dry them. Otherwise, the cotton candy will melt in your fingers, and that would be gross. Share my knowledge. Drink tea because I love tea. Paint with tea because I love painting with tea. I do love painting with tea. Yes, HB Emery. I do work with Photoshop primarily. It was a Christmas present to myself to get a couple years worth of the CC, Adobe CC subscription, which isn't bad. I mean, when I first got it, I got it for like $38, $39 because it was on sale. Recently I've had to cut back on it because, you know, gotta cut costs at some point. But yeah, I do. I use Photoshop for a lot of the things that I do. However, I've used other programs like GIMP too. Although I'm not as good at them because it takes practice. It's like the first time you pick up a hammer, you don't really know what it's for. You know, the first time you pick up a controller and try to play a video game, it's not easy. So, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you putting more aloe on?
Yeah.
So yeah, I have other projects that I work on, things like that. But when I went back to Fiverr to try to re-update my gigs, they had changed because now instead of just paying $5, you can charge people more for the work that you do. So the money donated here goes to a number of different things to help. So I'm just telling people where the money's going because people, transparency. Do you need your medicine? Please cover your cough, honey. So this intro video, I have yet to make an intro video, and I really need to make one at some point. But that introduces you, and they put it up at the top. So we'll save the changes here.
Mom needs another parent in the house.
Yes, I do. So that they can play with you while I'm trying to stream.
And do your work.
Yeah, you play Metal. HB Gamer says, when I play Medal of Honor with DualShock first time, it was a disaster. Yeah. Oh, man, I remember DualShock when that first came out. What was I playing? I was playing a horror game at some point. The first time I experienced DualShock controllers, and I dropped the controller.
I did.
No, I did. I dropped the controller. I was like, oh!
Well, I dropped the controller also.
Yes, you did. Will you stop? Hey, you're going to use up all the aloe. You want to eat your cotton candy? You need to wash your hands off and dry them.
I will play a game.
So, once you have your About page filled in, this is actually one of the hardest parts of the Patreon page, besides figuring out your rewards. Because you have to know a little bit about marketing yourself. And that's difficult.
My glasses are foggy.
Oh, well, stop. Go dry your hands off. With a towel. They're still wet.
No, they're not. It's just aloe.
You know, if you pick up anything with your fingers with them covered in aloe and soap, it's going to taste like aloe and soap and water. And it's going to be gross. So make sure they're dry really well.
Just don't like harm.
Ew. Oh, man. Here, baby. Hey. Here's your glasses. Go.
Up.
So, one of the things about the reward tiers that you have to be careful of is you don't want to promise rewards that you can't offer. Like, you don't want to have a Patreon level. It's like, yeah, I'll send you a postcard every month when you don't have time to make that postcard, when you don't have time to offer that thing or the money. So you don't want to, overtax yourself. There are a lot of really cool suggestions, but the ones that I have, I really need to fix. So we're going to jack this up to $2. So what this one is the $2 access is straight up patron only access to sketches, whips posted nowhere else. Early heads up to any upcoming live streams, which I haven't been doing because I have nobody on my Patreon. So, right. I need to fix that. Take a pen. Make a note. This is where I wish Patreon was a little bit more automated, because then I could connect it to if this then that, if this then that, IFTTT, which is this automated service, which we'll go over in a bit. Live stream announcements early. Tier 1. Alright. I made these little graphics because they're adorable for the tier image. So that one's fine. Energy drink minions. You see, because it's a raven with wings drinking an energy drink. Yeah, funny. Minions! Yes, I have minions! Yay! This opens energy drink box of doom. I will post a monthly suggestion box just for patrons of this level during my monthly quick... See, this is where I'm talking about where you have to offer rewards that you can do. So here I say during my monthly quick sketch stream, which I don't have that set up yet. Your suggestion gets picked first with a personal shout out from me. So I need to look at my calendar and I need to figure out what I'm going to do for, like, because I really do want to do a monthly quick sketch stream, which is just me drawing. Yep, for me it's easy. Tier 1, $1 per month, and you get yourself one patron only giveaway, and you win tier $2 per month, and you enter to the 50-year game giveaway. Hey, that's a really cool idea. Offering giveaways, HB. That's a really cool idea. So that it's like an automatic entry, and you don't have to worry about, because on YouTube you don't see all your subscribers. If someone has their subscription set to be completely private, you could have like 200 subscribers and you only can see like 120 of them, because maybe the rest of them have it set to private, so that list isn't entirely accurate. Not entirely. So it would make sense to use your Patreon that way, because then cross-promoting it, yeah. Huh. That's a really good idea. Like, that's a really good idea, because then you don't have to deal with messaging and checking messages on YouTube comments and things like that. It's just automatic. I might have to actually borrow that from you if you don't mind, HB. Because that's a brilliant idea. Monthly giveaway. I'll put that in my notes. Give away 4 tiers. I like that. That's a really good idea. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You're brilliant, HB. You are brilliant. Totally brilliant. So during my monthly quick sketch stream, your suggestions get picked first with a personal shout out from me. Tier 2. I think I'm going to keep that one. Ooh, I really like the idea. I hope you don't mind if I borrow that. I might actually borrow that for... Oh, thank you, yes. Aw. You are awesome, just saying. So, The Inked. I love this one. The title for this one, The Inked. I think something, yeah. Access to Patreon. See, this is another thing. I can't do the memory book. I can't do the memory book. Because at this level, for a $10 donation, having access to a memory book is not functional. Because putting together a memory book, like scanning in the sketches and things like that, cleaning them up so that when they print out correctly, that's hours and hours worth of work. And no, I can't do this. But I don't want to give up on this particular oh, a cat just went to the bathroom. Ugh. Excuse me a minute. Stinky cat. Take her, you got a stinky butt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all this, save it in a notepad document for possibly a higher tier, because I have to have, I work a regular 8-hour day. Sometimes I stay longer because I'm salary, and that means I only claim 8 hours worth of work, but I might sometimes work 9 because it's necessary. My company doesn't require it, and they would rather have me be paid for my hours. But sometimes the work is just required to do it, you know? So I have a 2-hour total round trip commute, and I have kids to take care of. So I have to really take a look at my time management, and putting together a memory book is something, you know, I might be able to do for one of my live streams. As an example, oh, let's clean up and show you how to do a memory book. That would be a really good idea. But yeah, it's, I have to take into consideration, is this really a $10 tier offering? If one person for hours worth of work, it's not worth it. It really isn't worth it. Oh, I have 2 people on the stream. 2 people on YouTube. Woohoo! Hi, whoever the other person is. And that is E before I. Okay. So, what I want to do here, maybe I could do the thank you card. That's not a problem. You know what? I think I'll borrow HB's idea for the giveaway. You'll get a chance. You'll be entered into for an original piece of artwork. This may be a canvas painting, watercolor, illustration, or graphite pencil render. Canvas painting, watercolor, illustration, graphite, or graphite pencil render, among other things. That's a thought.
You know what? That's a good point. Because a lot of people are only going to do tier 1, maybe tier 2. Live streams. The sketches lips posted nowhere else, and an early heads up to any upcoming live streams. In addition, you get a single entry to my monthly print giveaway. Giveaway, comma, with a chance to snag a framed piece of my artwork. Yay! That works. Not a print, sketch, because it's sketch lovers, so monthly sketch giveaway. So it's an original piece of artwork. I can deal with that. Create a new tier. See, the sad thing is I don't have that. Photoshop piece again. $30, you pay $15 for one good shirt, plus the art stamp on it, and you keep like $10 more for you in the frame. Oh, hey! I didn't know that. Where do you? Where would I? I'd have to do some research into where I could get decent T-shirts printed. Yes.
I want you.
You want me? Of course you want me. I'm your mom.
Bad news. Mom. Excuse me, Mom. Bad news.
Is it empty? There's only a couple left. Okay.
No one left.
Go ahead and take it.
No one left.
Do you mind?
Yes. I do.
You're being very rude. No, it's not funny. I'm so sorry. Go blame us. You're being very rude.
Hey, you
Ow,
were
stop.
about to say it.
Okay, then say it. Okay, go play. Shoo. Trying to do my thing.
Yeah.
Mom alert. Haha, yeah.
Hi, Grandma.
No, he's talking about me. God. Kisses. Now get. Oh, fine, I'll take it. It'll be mine.
Kiss it.
Kiss the juice pouch?
Yeah. I want to what it will taste when you kiss it.
Tell me what it tastes like. Oh, but now you kissed it, so you added more sugar to it.
No. I did like this.
Oh, jeez, go on, kid.
Here, you open it.
This is why I try to do my live streams when you're sleeping. Because you're being an interruptus. Go put that in the recycling.
No. Can you make something out of it?
Maybe. Here, put it down. Now, shoot. Get. Anyway.
Mom,
There we go.
there's something wrong with the TV.
Can you do me a favor, my young man? I might keep my son up. I'm still trying to live stream, and your sister needs help. I know you just woke up.
But somebody.
I just woke you up.
Mom, but somebody knocked on the door.
No.
Yes.
No, that was me trying to wake Lan up.
No, it was really somebody knocking on the door. I heard the last knock.
Anyway. Your sister needs help.
Can somebody help me open the door? Open the door.
No.
There's nobody outside.
Go fix the TV for her and put something on, please.
See no one out.
No. I'm reading it.
3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let him deal with it. Let him work it out. I love my kids. I do. Anyway. So. Oh my goodness. Cat, what are you doing? I think this one I'm just going to knock out and publish. So once you figure out what your rewards, and you don't want to give too many rewards because you don't want to give too many options. Too many options can confuse people and they'll waffle and walk away. Here is the next section where you can figure out your goals. Oh, hold on. Okay, I'm seriously trying to like. I actually have two people in my family that is like, you are actually position. I asked you to pick some people first so you can watch it so you can, you know.
I want to watch Shrek.
No.
And I put the
What do you want to watch?
Shrek.
Go to Netflix and see Shark today.
Why is it so loud? Turn it down.
I did.
Maybe turn it off. When I'm done, your breakfast, okay? Okay, so some of the things that I have here for reward goals, I'm gonna change some of these. So but yeah, your goals are there. They end up showing up on the left-hand side of the page. And they're areas where they're almost like achievements. So, like for you, HB Gamer, for example, the way you could write them is achievement unlocked, you know, because of what you do. For me, it's just a flat out, again, transparency of what I'm using the money for. Don't know what to capitalize your text. I don't want to see. I don't want to capitalize it across the way because it also looks like yelling. Now the thanks here, you can put a other than you can like personalize it. Oh, the first letter of every word. Huh. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. Looks more cool. Yes. How amazing would it be if your patrons got a personal secret thank you? So what I did is I actually took this from one of my Fiverr campaigns. I did a little digital doodle sketch of a tranked U. 1,000 thank yous. And what I did is I made it really tiny. And you can see in the background of the image that it's this image repeated over and over and over again. I think there's 1,000. I lost count at one point. But it's a little thank you image saying 1,000 tranked U's. Because it's funny. I don't know. I thought it was funny. And then you can also do a thank you video. Publishing these things, you don't have to make them public on your YouTube channel, but you can publish them to YouTube as a private link and then link it for your Patreon. So it's a Patreon only thank you that they get. And again, it's something else I need to do. I need to do intro video and thank you for Patreon. Okay. Now here in this section, when you're setting up your Patreon, you have to figure out how you want to do it. You can either do it per creation, like every time you post a paid post, the patrons get charged. Now this can be done if you're not doing it very often, if you're not putting out a lot of content, even if you're only putting out like monthly content, like once per video or once per book or once per, you see what I'm saying? Whereas they would get a chance to see posts without being charged. There's an option in there for that. Or you can do just a straight monthly charge. Which if you put out a lot of content more often, doing a monthly charge means that you will hit your patrons less often for money. So it really depends on which way you want to go. I have mine set up as a monthly charge. You can also do an earnings visibility, kind of like YouTube's subscriber visibility. You can do it either public or private. So it differs per person, but most Patreon pages I've come across, most of them put their earnings as being a visible earnings. Yeah. HB says, yeah, video is good and it's more direct to the people. Yes, it is. It very much is. And it's important. I just haven't ever actually made one. And here's the sad thing. I went to school for animation. I know motion graphics and video editing. I should be able to do things better, but it really comes down to time because really good edits take a couple hours or more worth of work and effort and hunting the right graphics and, cleaning up video and cutting and pasting and sound touch-ups and everything else. It takes a lot of work. So, and then what they'll do is they'll, when you first set up your Patreon page, they'll have you make your first post. So you know what? If my file folder will open on my other window, and it opened too. Make a post. That's true. That's true. And it's just about making the time. Again, even though it is something that, for 5 hours worth of work, it stays forever. You're right. It's making those 5 hours happen. My situation, I don't have another adult in my house to take the kids off to go grocery shopping, so I can sit and edit video. I have to take the kids to go grocery shopping, or I can see if my mom's available to take the kids so I can go grocery shopping, but those groceries aren't going to get shopped by themselves. I could order things, but then I'm not getting out of the house. And right now, I need the exercise. So it's about priorities, it's about time management, and it's about what I put as more important. And that just requires more dedicated scheduling of my time, which is something I have to work on. I don't know what I should say. How about we put something else up there? Select image file. Let's do actual art. Will it animate or no? It's supposed to be animated. Hold on. Art. You know what? Hold on. Where did I put it? Is it in projects? Did I put it in the... I did. I put it in the wrong thing. Not log design, logo design. No, not a 0. No, yes, that's awesome. Oh, hold on. I have my restream here, and it tells me where people are from. I have nobody in Twitch, but I have 3 people in YouTube. And Flupsy, is that how you say it? Flupsy said, hello, I'm from Germany. Hello from Germany. And HB Gamer's there. He's like, yeah, true. Life goes on for sure. I tried to have it set up to where the chat would show up in my stream, but I've been having problems with it. Let's see, restream chat. So that it shows up in this section over here, but it just sits there. It doesn't do anything, and I'm not sure why. I haven't figured that technical bug out yet. So I don't know. It's an issue. It really is. It's an irritating issue too. So, meh. For now, whatever. Yay! I did some client work for a friend who is starting a Twitch channel in regards to gaming on a budget. When he gets his channel up and running, I'll link to it here. I don't usually do cheap design, but for him as a very good friend and the notion of no, that sounds silly. And the notion of gaming on a budget, I gave him a hefty discount. Normally, logo designs can rank upwards of several $1,000. And I'm not just pulling this out of my hat, like out of the blue. There is a book called The Graphic Artist Guild of Ethical Pricing, and their median range is between like several hundred to several thousand, depending on the people who are doing the logo design. And for logo designs, if you're really good, you can rank pretty high because you have large companies like Gap that are constantly looking for a rebranding. Saks Fifth Avenue just had a rebranding. They do this fairly regularly, and that's millions of dollars worth of logo redesign there because you have a huge company that needs to be recognized in order to sell its products, and it's a hand company. So F4F. Oh, follow for follow. Oh, hey, I got somebody on Twitch. Hi, Shock. Follow for follow. I'll have to check out your channel, Shock. I don't know how Twitch's algorithm works, but I'm not a sub for sub, follow for follow type of person normally. But I will check out your channel. Trust me on this one. I will check out your channel and I'll see, what you got going there. I generally tend to follow gaming and art channels by choice. So if you're definitely a gaming channel, yeah, I'll get you a follow. Not a problem. On YouTube, sub for sub is even more of a touchy subject because just it's YouTube's algorithm, because you're not just subbing to help support somebody. When you sub, it tells the algorithm that whatever content that they make is the kind of content that you're interested in. Will you get off my bureau? Hi, kitty. Oh, this is my Tinker. Say hi, Tinker. Go play. But yeah. Awesome. Yeah, HB Gamer. Thank you. Your phone is 15% battery. Alright. Take care, man. And keep it up. If you ever need any kind of graphics or anything for your channel, hit me up. Okay? If you don't do them yourself. See you later, HB. Take care. And there's the post. Yay, I got a post. So if I go to my channel, like my actual Patreon page, and I go to posts, And you see the post is there. Alrighty. So then, what's this other thing? So now another way that you can make money as a creative, and this even goes for people who aren't artists directly themselves, if you can get a logo design, or you can get some kind of quote that you use often in your streams, things like that. What you can do is you can go to a place like Redbubble, and you can have the design put on things like t-shirts, iPhone cases, things like that. Stickers, sweatshirts, posters, all kinds of stuff. So I'm already logged in. You can see some of the artwork that I've posted. It's not a lot. Again, it's just a matter of lack of followers means lack of want to post anything more, because it's, at least for Redbubble, I don't have to worry about overhead costs of running the site. I don't have to worry about the overhead costs of keeping stock up. I don't have to worry about overhead costs of buying things ahead of time, like buying boxes and boxes of things like t-shirts. So I actually have my Raven Party Hatter Raven. It's beautiful. I love this thing. You can get it as a t-shirt, sweatshirt, the iPad skin case, laptop skin, laptop sleeve. You can get it as posters, canvas print, photographic print, art print, framed print, metal print. You can get it as a throw pillow. This, I want to get this as a mug, because I just want to, like, seriously, I want my own mug. I'm going to have to get this sometime. One of these days I'm going to have to actually do a better design for the mug, because the way it is, instead of having the print here and then here, the way this shows, it's here. It's like, you don't drink your coffee like this. You drink it like this. But the print is here to the side. So I'm going to have to figure out what the overall width is for the mugs and try to do a better design for this overall. The clock looks really cool. You can do acrylic blocks, bags, greeting cards, sketchbook, all kinds of stuff. This one is one of my favorite sketch doodles. Claws of Fire. This came from one of Ellen Million's sketch fests, and the prompt was Claws of Fire, like Claws of Fire, and then I decided to play on words, being a clause like a contract clause. When contracts go bad, Claws of Fire. And it's like a little snake, but it's a contract and it's on fire, and it's kind of cute. And you get it on your iPhone case, get it on a pillow. The mug, it doesn't look right on the mug. You get on the acrylic block, travel mug. I like this one on the travel mug. I might actually buy that one for myself. You sketchbook, greeting card, sticker. What I need to do is clean up some more of my artwork and actually get it posted. This one was from the Werewolf Verses easing. This is the image for the back cover. I got the rights to do other reprints of it. Since it was digital and doesn't have a physical copy, I don't have a technical original to go with. But there are prints that are available, including a mug. Again, it's got that weird wraparound problem going on. Travel mug, bag, sticker greeting card. So what this does is that you get Redbubble takes a cut. Excuse me. Excuse me. Redbubble takes a cut of this, and you get the rest of the money. But then you got to pay processing fees on top of that. But you got to watch those processing fees. They're killer. Excuse me. But this is another way that you can make money on the side that you don't have to worry about YouTube ads or anything else like that. Again, if you're a gamer or a blogger or something like that, and you have a saying or you have something else that you use, you can go to a place like Redbubble and have it printed out, and you don't have to worry about the overhead costs of it. If you want to do a giveaway, you can buy the shirts, like a bunch of the shirts yourself. They also do that. Another place you can go is Sticker Mule. And in this case, this doesn't give you a shop per se, but you can buy in bulk. Custom stickers, labels, magnets, packaging, things like that. And it's pretty cool. Easy online ordering, 4-day turnaround, and free online proofs, free shipping. I mean, the offers that they have for some of these things are pretty cool. Like, you can get magnets for the fridge. You buy them in bulk. You buy them per size, right? You can do buttons. I actually want to get a button machine so I can do my own buttons, but that's later on. But they have different kinds of buttons that they can do. They offer packaging, like poly mailers. So, like, for me as an artist, I could buy their poly mailers and I can slide art prints into them and send them that way, and that way that's branded. And it might be cheaper overall to do it that way than to go to some other place. I have to figure that out. But you can also get like packaging tape so that it has your brand on it, that kind of thing. I don't think they do boxes. But they started out with stickers, and they have die cut stickers, circle stickers, bumper stickers, sticker sheets, clear stickers, which are really cool, transfer stickers. I think these might be vinyl. No, there it is, the vinyl lettering, right? Front adhesive stickers. So, like, if you have like a car window or something, you can take the graphic and stick it to the inside so the image is facing out. This also does very well for things like storefronts, like physical storefronts. You can do giant wall graphics if you want to do that, which looks pretty cool. Again, to do something like this, though, you would have to buy the large bulk quantity of these things. It's not like you could have a shop that sells this stuff that they take care of. That's not how it works. You buy it in bulk quantity. So this is good for doing things like conventions, for shows, for art and craft fairs, things like that. Excuse me. Fiverr. I have an account on Fiverr. It's under the name Drakenart. There we go. I've had my Fiverr account forever, but because a lot of people are using it these days, my gig offerings are not bubbling up to the top. I also need to clean them up some more. So if I were to go to selling and my gigs, the ones that I have offered, and one of the things you got to worry about Fiverr is you don't want to undercut yourself too much. You don't want to charge cheap for something that takes a lot of time. What I was doing originally is I was offering things like header banners and things like that, because after a while I got good enough at them that I was speeding through them and I could finish them in like half an hour or so. And that most of that involved looking for stock images. And after a while I built up quite an amount of stock images. And I would tell people in my gigs, hey, you can either send me an image or I can use my stock image, which might mean you might be using images that somebody else has used too. So it's a cheap way of running around and getting past having to buy stock images for each individual company. I had at one point designed a professional logo for $5. I'm not kidding. Like, I did that at one point because I wanted to build up enough of a brand. I don't do that anymore. That's not in my thing anymore. I put up Design Pro YouTube thumbnails, which I'm not getting any looks for. Create a new or edit a current header banner, things like that. But at this point, I have to really rethink what my Fiverr offerings are going to be. Sorry. I have no orders because nobody's seeing my stuff. I had quite a few that ended up canceling on me because at one point I went offline. I didn't have a chance to take down my gigs, and I was offline for like a couple months, and that hurt me in the long run. A couple of them were late because of, again, family issues. But generally, I had over 88 completed gigs with very high ratings. So I want to be able to try to start this again, especially since you're not being charged as $5. You can start off and offer something for $5. Like, where is this? Everything's on hold right now because I went off after a bit. Yeah, I had a spike in people looking for this. Oh, thank you. Okay, so Wrestler Mania? Wrestler. Hi! Hi, Wrestler. Just stopping by, say hi, and give you some time support. Thank you. I appreciate that. So what I'm doing right now, Wrestler, is going through the different ways that you can monetize your videos or streams by doing something other than ads. Because you have to get upwards of, I think the last bit was said like 500,000 views to make $1,000, which is ridiculous, but whatever. And depending on the category that you're in, I think educational content actually you get a better CPM. So there are other ways that you can monetize. And I'm going through some of the different ones, especially for those of us who can create things. I just went through Patreon and I took a look at Sticker Mule. And now I'm going through Fiverr. These used to be my general go-to ones, especially Fiverr, because at one point I was doing quite a bit of Fiverr work a couple years ago. Like, I have a decently large portfolio of, like, my web banner ads and my header graphics were the top sellers because people, especially small businesses that were just starting out, were looking for art that they could use. Get rid of love handles. Bananas with a T. I think this is the one that they went with in the end. And what really tickles me is that sometimes some of these banners are still in use, even after years have gone by. I love it. It's awesome. If it'll load. Come on. Really? That's a shame. Oh well. So yeah, so I have to sit down and actually go through and try to figure out what I'm going to do for my Fiverr offerings. I would like to do thumbnails for other people, hair graphics, overlays, things like that, but if you like overlays, I'm not the only one that would be offering them, and then you have to deal with going through the slog. For $45, I will design a custom Twitch overlays and logo branding. I will design Twitch overlays and logo your stream. I will design professional Twitch overlay and esport logo. I will create professional Twitch banner panels and overlays with characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see, you have to stand out. You really have to stand out. And then some of these I'll start with $5 and whatnot. So I'm going to go to the filter, sort by relevance, sort by best selling. Most people go by relevance. But these are the ones that sell the best. $45, $25, $10, $25. People are willing to spend a decent amount of money for people to make really good graphics for them. The problem is getting to the top of, to bubble up to the top is something like this, and it's just not happening. So like video thumbnails. But for those of you who, especially in YouTube land, who are looking for a cheap way to get professional updated templates for your thumbnails, $5, $5, $5, $5. And they can either make the thumbnail for you, or some of these will actually give you the graphics files, either in Photoshop or GIMP or something else, CSP. And you can pay that little bit extra so you have that template to go for from that point on. Awesome. Thank you, Wrestler Mania. Take care and enjoy work. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. And again, the best selling ones, $5, $5, $5, $5. And this is one of the things too. He's offering a 2-day delivery turnaround, which is huge. Unlimited revisions, which is huge. So you get exactly what you're looking for. He's from Pakistan. He's been on since 2015. So yeah, it's another way of it's just another way of getting your resources and where you can get them from. Interesting. Yeah, okay. That's more motion graphics. 1 day delivery time. $10, 3 revisions. So in here, the way Fiverr works is you want to keep it below 80 max characters because you want it shortened to the point. Design pro YouTube thumbnails. You figure out what category they're in, social media design they're in. You can add various categories that it'll show up. Choose type, select social media elements. You design, cover header, suggest other. So this probably shouldn't be in social media design. Banner ads, web mobile design, packet book flyers, cartoons, illustration, business cards, logo design. Web mobile design. Come on, let me pick something else. Ugh. Seized up on me. Seizing up on me. I don't know what the heck is going on with this thing. Anyway, it's being weird. My browser just locked up on me. Platforms, YouTube, file format, also delivering multiple versions. I'm not sure what's going on with this thing, but it's being weird. Awesome, changes saved. Pricing is the next option. This is where Fiverr used to be very strict. So you have your basic price, which would be your $5 price. So what I'm offering here for my $5 thumbnail is you get one thumbnail for the video of your choice. 2-day delivery. Limited revisions. Limited revisions. Limited revisions. Just 4 days. 2 days. And each one is a little bit different. You get commercial use of all of them because it's a work for hire. Okay, you save that. And then here you fill in your description and FAQs about the gig itself. And you have to make sure you put, this is where SEO for Fiverr comes in handy. Just like with YouTube, it has to match the title. It has to match your tags. And above all, it needs to have searchable key terms in here. But you don't just want to fill it up with key terms. You have to describe what the gig is about and what you're offering. Yes, that's good. Come on. I think my system is bogged down with between running Photoshop in the background, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, running Restream, IOs, Chatbox, and other things. So this is where you tell your buyer what their requirements are. And then here is the gallery of thumbnails. So if I wanted to put a thumbnail up there, elements, YouTube thumbs, then we have another thumbnail up there. Yay! You can also drag a video or do a video for your Fiverr gig, much like with Patreon, to describe more what's in the gig. This is something else I need to add to my list of things. The downside about Fiverr is that they don't send SMS alerts. They just send email alerts. And because I'm constantly busy and on the move, I really need the SMS alerts. That way I could tell when a gig has hit my inbox, because that's what has made me late and missed a couple of the gigs from years ago, like 4 years ago. Because I would get an email and then I wouldn't get to my email until like a day or two later, and then by that point it was already late, and they were like, "Are you going to answer me back?" But once I got the email and I got the process going, they generally, most if not all of my clients were very well content with the designs and the graphics that I offered them. So now you can save and preview, so you can actually preview what your gig looks like. And one of the options that Fiverr has, that if you're technically physically online at the time and you're on the Fiverr site, they'll bubble you up to the top, because then you can instantly respond to people. And in the day and age of the internet as it is now, being able to respond to people right away is something that it's... When I was a kid, people would say, yeah, call me back. And they didn't mind waiting like a day, even in an emergency situation, for someone to call you back, because people wouldn't get to their phones right away because cell phones weren't a thing. Now it's like if you don't answer your cell phone immediately, people get mad. Like, whatever happened to, I'm not attached to my cell phone, you know? Same thing with the internet. So what Fiverr does is Fiverr rewards people for being online at the time that, you know, you want to have your gig started, and they'll bubble you up as being ones that can instantly service the needs of the clients. Yeah, member since June 2011. Average response time 22 hours, because I wouldn't get the email right away. Recent delivery over 3 years ago. There you go. I haven't touched this in a while.
Can I add it to my favorites? No. But I can share this on Twitter. And this is one of the things that a lot of people don't realize that they need to do is when you have stuff to offer, unless you have a marketing team that's out there pushing, you have to take the time to actually push this stuff out. So I'll go to selling, gigs, and these will be activated. So I have 2 active gigs. Throw a third one up there. Oh, so apparently Fiverr is only allowing minimal unless you hit some kind of... This is new. So apparently, because of some element that I haven't reached, you know what? Time to be nerdalicious. Time to hunt down why this is happening. Selling on Fiverr. Yeah, whatever. What can I sell? Okay, yeah, so with Fiverr, one of the things I need to point out, you keep 80% of each transaction. That's because Fiverr has to, just like with PayPal, they have to pay a fee for everybody that buys your stuff. I'm not sure how it is now. I don't know if they've updated their payment services, but I know there was a way to get around the PayPal when you got paid, when you actually pulled the money from Fiverr. What you could do, instead of pulling each payment and recurring an additional percentage of the transaction fee to take it from Fiverr to your account, what you could do is wait until you had the maximum amount
that PayPal would charge. And you would actually make more money that way, because instead of each payment being charged for an individual processing fee, what Fiverr would do was process the entire lump of it and send the entire lump to you in one transaction. So the initial transaction of the client buying a service would get incurred a fee. So it's $5. You would actually get like $4.20 or something like that. And when you went to, if you took that payment and then transferred to PayPal, you'd get hit again. So what ends up happening in that regard, if you had like 20 payments, 20 little gigs that you've done, and you process each one individually, you'd have 20 individual processing fees. Or you could wait until you hit PayPal's maximum. Like, I think they take 10% off each transaction. So 10% off, right? And then what would happen is, until you made, what was it, like $20, $25, and then it was just a flat fee. What you wanted to do was get enough money to incur just that flat fee, but you wanted to get more than that. So if you had like $200 worth in $5 gigs that you just sat on, you didn't touch it, and you transferred it, you'd only get charged that flat fee. I have to double check to make sure that that is the case still, because that's an important way of making sure everything's kosher. This is something else that Patreon, if they aren't doing, should look into, because you have that doubled fee. You have first for the initial transaction, and then again for the secondary transaction. Unlike like credit card processing fees, if you have your own shop, it's only the one fee. But for online stores like this, you have to worry about that double fee. So that's something you got to watch out for. All purchases are subject to a processing fee of $1 on purchases up to and including $20, and 5% on purchases above $20. This is what I was talking to you. This is the PayPal fee that's hitting them. Okay? Plus the Fiverr fee. I'm looking specifically for that section that talks about requirements. Gallery published to edit a gig. Okay. So Google. Why does Fiverr limit gigs? There it is. Maybe not. There it is. How many gigs can a seller have? God, this is from like a while ago. No, that doesn't help. Is 7 the most anyone can have? Okay, so it's in terms of service. Okay, so we need to find the Fiverr terms of service. Terms of service. Sellers may often cost each order 5 credit. Sellers, once an order is canceled for any reason, funds are paid, will be refunded. Sellers are allowed to post a select amount of active gigs based on their level status. 7 gigs for sellers without a level status. So here's the funky. I only have 2 active. Alright, so that doesn't make any sense. 7 gigs for sellers without a level status. Well, that would make sense because 5, 6, 7. Alright, so 7 gigs. I'm not seeing it. Find active. Based on their level status. 7 gigs for sellers without a level status. But I only have 2 active. Okay, it's not giving me that weird reaction. Okay, not sure what that's about. One order in queue. I don't have any orders in queue. So weird. I don't understand it. So we'll go to orders, and there are no orders. Like, these are gone. They're missing. They're missing. Anyway, so yeah, Fiverr is another way to go. Oh. Okay. That was weird and different. Come on. Oh, come on, phone. Anyway. So there's a thought. Um, they didn't have this before. They only had PayPal access. They started offering a Fiverr revenue card, which is like a debit card, but the money accesses your account on Fiverr. And now they're offering direct deposit, which is pretty cool. So yeah, there are various ways to make money as an aside on YouTube through live streams and other things. But you have to really think about it and what you're trying to do as a creator. Like, because the ad revenue for coming from YouTube is not good. I'm not sure what it is like for Twitch because I haven't gotten that far. I need to hit more of my milestones on Twitch before I can become a Twitch partner, which is in and of itself a different way of doing things. Just like with YouTube, you have to have a certain number of views, certain number of followers, certain number of people that are interested in your channel before they'll even think about monetizing your channel, because it doesn't make sense. They actually lose money in the long run monetizing smaller channels than they make monetizing larger channels, because this has to do more with click-through rates, the click-through ratio, and other issues of how many impressions, how often it's seen, and if the ad is seen all the way through. So that's something that needs to be taken into consideration. But yeah, if you guys get a chance to, I'm going to see about starting to do another monthly stream, which is just me sketching, drawing, doodling. It's a chance for me to do freehand stuff that doesn't have anything to do with client work. It's just me drawing, and that's necessary because if all I'm doing is client work, as a creative, you can get client burnout. So in order to keep that creative flow going, you need your personal hobby time. You know, you need to be able to create things that you want to create because you're motivated to create those. And then what you can do is you take that forward momentum of, painting a really nice picture, and he's like, I still want to do something. And then you can turn that back to client work and get that finished. I have quite a few pieces of client work that still need to be completed, like tarot card and the knot work pieces. The logo design for my friend, that's done. My cousin has a request for the logo design. I have to go through this process of reading his email and getting back to them. He needs it by the end of this month, possibly, but he hasn't given me a hard due date. Client work obviously comes first above everything else, but those monthly free sketch streams where I can just draw and doodle for my sake, and the sake of my patrons, if people decided to join my Patreon, that's really essential. If you were here earlier in the stream, if not, you can take a look back at the replay. I also have a writer's Patreon. Again, it's about the amount of time that I have to dedicate to something like that. I also have an author's YouTube where I read back some of the writings that I do. For me, that's practice because I need to practice my voices and my voiceovers, things like that. And reading stories out loud, especially works in progress, you can hear where things aren't. Like, you might write something and it sounds good inside your head, but as soon as you speak it out loud, it just doesn't flow.
there's something about it that trips you up, or it just doesn't make any sense. So that's what I want to do for that. But again, it's all about how much time that I have and what I want to dedicate most to, because there's also my animation and the comics. The writing and the art kind of pair up with the comics, and the animation as well, which I got to practice on. So I guess ultimately my final goal is, once I get myself rolling, is to make motion comics where there are comics that are animated or have animated portions. This isn't a new concept. It really isn't. But maybe eventually I'll just close down my author Patreon or something. I don't know. I was trying to divide up the tasks because I didn't know if people would be interested in, who were coming to see me draw and paint and animate, would also be interested in seeing and reading my writing. Because it's about a niche, and the more niche you are, the more likely you get more people interested in that specific thing. The broader you are, the less likely. The other thing I want to do too is I want to start offering YouTube channel critiques for a certain niche group of people. I still have to figure that out. Again, I have to figure out my schedule and when I'd be available for something like that. If Nick Neiman and Brian G. Johnson and others that I've seen that have done it, you need to dedicate at least upwards of 3 hours or more in a live stream setting to do channel grading and critiques that are effective. Because you're going to have a lot of people who want to have one. And I would need channel mods for sure for something like that. So I'll be looking for channel mods. I may start this June or July. So look out for that. And I'll be focusing mainly on creative art channels. Because I gotta pick a niche. I gotta pick a smaller category of people. Because my expertise comes from the artistic creative side. Whereas a gaming channel might require some certain elements that I don't know about yet. And the same thing with vlogging channels. They may require certain specific elements that I'm not experienced in yet. So even though most of the advice crosses over, like having your header a certain width and a certain height for the important content, having good thumbnails that repeat a certain branding image, things like that, that's good across the board for all YouTube channels, for all Twitch channels, for all everything. Like, that branding is essential because we are, aside from the folks who have vision difficulties, especially those who are blind, the brand of anything, the visual brand of anything is very important for recognition. And even though those who have low vision needs, I don't want to say problems because it's not, that's ableist. Anyway, but for those people who have low vision needs, that's an entirely different thing that brands have to take into consideration. Why contrast is very important. But yeah, I would like to be able to do these things in the future at some point. So if you're interested, make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell to find out when I'm streaming, and keep updates, keep ahead of any updates that I post. And maybe if you have a little extra spare cash, check out my Patreon. Alright, see you later, folks, and have a good day. I'm going to stop streaming now.